It's the Appalachian Trail, continuous footpath of nearly 2,200 miles and what many consider the granddaddy of the U.S. scenic trail system. And at this point, it's also the southern terminus of the Allegheny Trail, 330-mile trail spanning the distance from the border of Virginia through West Virginia to the border of Pennsylvania. Within 100 yards, the start of the trail, the Allegheny Trail turns into a footpath and onto a forest road. Remember, on the Allegheny Trail, it's okay to yellow blaze. It rains on the Allegheny Trail too. Welcome to day 2 of our hike. It's actually a week later and about 20 degrees warmer than when you last saw us. The truth is, we both have jobs, and we only come up here when we have time available. And we're just trying to knock out a few short sections before we have vacation time in the summer to do some overnight and extended hikes. At this point, we're at about mile marker 3.68 on the trail, and we intend to head north until we get to some ledges. And that'll be our hike for today. It'll be approximately 5 miles. This is our first section of the trail, but it's section 4 on the map or on the website. And I have to say the Allegheny Trail is very well marked, and like most trails, if you see a double bar, a double indicator, that means there's a change of direction. And for us, that means we get off of this mountain road and we turn off to the right. There is a old forest road there, but it's not nearly as well maintained. Still appears flat, and it's very navigable, but it's just not the same as what we've been on. But you'll see more of that as we go up the trail. See, some of the bars here actually have arrows on them, so it's easier to find the turns and twists. And this looks like an old road. It's right on top of the mountain. It's a little lumpy, but it's still great for walking and better than a lot of single track trails we've been on before.
And shout out to Doug Wood and the trail maintainers, because it looks like they are just in here clearing out the brush. Thanks, guys.
This is the first spring that we passed on the trail, and as you can see, the yellow markers right here. The spring's right there, so there's less chance of animal contamination. Of course, I'm sure the people that organize the trail would prefer that you use a filter or chemical decontamination before you drink. That's the biggest trickle right there under that rock. Well, we lost our mountain road and we're now on single track. It's more of a slant. But as you can see, the trail's well marked. You can see the markers. At least from the last one you passed, you should be able to see the next one clearly. Of course, we are filming at the very beginning of May, so it may vary as the summer blooms out a bit. So far today, we've gone from a four-wheel trail to an older mountain path, then to a single-track trail, and now we're back on a four-wheel trail. And we're going on the mountaintop, which makes for easy walking. The Allegheny Trail runs parallel to a big chunk of the Appalachian Trail, but there are some major differences. The Allegheny Trail is less well known, there's far less traffic on it, and that also means there's less chance for trail magic. You're not going to pop around the corner and find the Leapfrog Cafe set up waiting on you with a smiling fresh ground there stirring up sloppy joes. So far on the short sections of the Allegheny Trail that we've hiked, the path has been much easier, far less up and downs, you know, the dreaded PUDs on the Appalachian Trail, the pointless up and downs. There's a few places here where there's views. A lot of times the views are obstructed. Not a great shot for a camera, but your eye can pick out the beauty. Well, we've reached our turnaround point for today. This is about as far as we can get and still get back to the car before it gets dark, so we have to retrace our steps. And hopefully the next time we get out, we can come from the north and come down and see this landmark across the trail and know that we've been here before. And that's what we're doing. We really don't have GPS or anything, so we're just winging it. Hey there, hikers. We're back on the Allegheny Trail where we left off last time. And last week we came in from the south and we turned around here and headed back that way where the vehicle was. This week we came in from the north, so we've already trekked over the area that we're going to highlight this week. It's a little cooler this week, 15 to 20 degrees cooler than it was last time, but the skies are clear, it's very sunny, and we've got some nice spots for you to look at. There's a Raptor Center several miles up the trail. There's a short Blue Blaze trail that leads to a tower where they count the raptors as they migrate up the east coast. So we're going to be ready. It's a nice day for hiking. Plus, I've got the secret weapon. This is the golden ticket. It's a shout out to our friends Baskets and Nope, along with Garden State. They kind of had a running joke that spam was what got them through the CDT and the Appalachian Trail. So thanks a lot, guys. You've really inspired us. If you're northbound, then there's a Blue Blaze trail right in this section that goes to the Raptor Tower that we spoke of earlier. And it actually loops around and reconnects with the Allegheny Trail. There's another Blue Blaze further north. But like I said, if you're northbound, this is the quickest way to get up to it. It goes up to the crest. And there's actually a little outhouse up there for your convenience. Here in the Raptor Center. It's a shelter on top of a rock outcrop on Peters Mountain in Monroe County, West Virginia. And basically what this is an observation point for people to count the migration of raptors as they go from north to south along this ridge line. Apparently this is a preferred route for the raptors. And it's a very scenic view, especially today. There's not many leaves out on the tree at this time of year. And it's a beautiful view of the valley below us. And right now we got the sun shining on us, so we're doing pretty good. Okay, we finished another day's hike. Went 5 miles north from our starting point, and we've actually got paved road, our first sign of civilization since we started the trail. And at this point, we've gone about 12.65 miles, and we'll pick up again here next week. Hey there, hikers. Another week has passed. We're back at Hanging Rock parking lot. We've got a short walk along the road, and we'll plunge back into the forest and finish up the southern section of section 4 of the Allegheny Trail. Trail maintenance graffiti here. were hiking along and stumbled across some burrs, which I believe are chestnut burrs. The American chestnuts once dominated the Appalachian regions, and it was a great source of income for pioneers. They used the wood to build cabins, fence, because it was rot resistant. They collected the nuts, which they waited till the burrs were removed and got the nuts. They sold them or stored them as a source of income. They could use the tannin for leather. They also allowed hogs to come up into the mountains to eat these and fatten up in the winter. And they once covered the area. Tales have been told that in the springtime when the flowers would come out, it looked like there was snow on the mountains because there were so many chestnuts. Then in the early 1900s, there were some Chinese chestnuts imported to I believe the Bronx Zoo, and they brought with them a virus that the American chestnuts did not have a immunity to, and it wiped them out. And by the 1950s, most of the chestnuts were wiped out. There are a few around that remained from the early chestnuts that had an immunity for some reason. And some people say that the newer ones, it looks like this one is a fairly new tree, are building up their own resistance. So hopefully at some point the chestnuts will become dominant again. It's great fodder for deer and bear and all the animals in the woods. So it's good to see this. Well, this morning we started at the parking lot and we walked, we don't know how many miles because there's no mileage on the trail. There's no trail signs or anything like that. We've run into a county road, and we've noticed that the county road does have yellow blazes that lead down to a paved road. We're not sure if that's actually part of the trail, but what we do know is this is where the wooded trail ends. And if you're not familiar with the situation, this trail is not completed. There is a section missing, and if you're hiking south to north, this is where you would stop and get a shuttle and go to the Jerry's Run exit that's just inside of Virginia, and then you would head north from there. And to the best of our knowledge, the rest of the trail is complete. There may be some sections where there's some storm damage that may interfere with our through hike, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. The trail today was very pleasant. As you can see, it's like an old Jeep path or ATV road, perhaps some logging roads. It was mostly downhill. We lost a lot of elevation today. Saw a little bit of wildlife, so it was an enjoyable hike, especially since it was so humid. We're just now getting to the humid weather here. Upon further examination, we've discovered that Monroe County Road 20, which is right in front of me here, is actually part of the footpath. You can see the yellow blazes for about 2 miles down here. It gets closer to the pavement, which is in Monroe County on the east side of the mountain here. So we're gonna walk that, and there's been some recent rains, and you'll probably see some miniature waterfalls that we'll take some video of. So come along and join us for that. All right, we've come to the end of the road walk. It's just about 2 miles from where we picked up on the road. And it's just a small parking area here, a nondescript place where the yellow blaze has kind of come to an end. And hopefully at some point this will be the starting point for a completion section to connect the north and south sections of Section 4 on the Allegheny Trail.